Welcome back. This is Answer Me This. I'm Aidan, the founder of the Modern Fatherhood Club, and this is part of Friday Fuel and the Fatherhood in Focus podcast. These sessions, these episodes are all designed to push you outside your comfort zone. They're designed to help you reflect on your fatherhood story. They're designed with your future and your children's future in mind. I've designed them to keep you accountable, to help you take responsibility for the narrative that you set for your family and for you, but also just so that you can take a moment to pause, reflect, and celebrate the man and dad you've become. Because ultimately, you're a leader. You're here to lead your children to a brighter future. You're here to create a legacy. Your job is to embrace the challenge, face your fears, face up to the things, the mistakes perhaps you've made in the past. Your job is to give them exactly what they need in the moment. But you can't always do that if you're not prepared to do the hard work, if you're not prepared to put the effort in, if you're not prepared to simplify it. Because remember, what they need is very simple. It's you, it's love, it's warmth, it's connection, it's protection, it's opportunity. Your role is to embrace the challenge. Your role is to shape lives. This is your chance to reflect on the role that you play, the influence that you have, and reflect on the strengths that you need to portray on a daily basis. This is Answer Me This. If you like what you hear, please like and subscribe to the podcast, watch on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and join the Modern Fatherhood Club at themodernfatherhoodclub.com. We have free resources, we have paid resources, we have a community waiting to support you and help you uncover your strength, your confidence, so that you can lead with courage and give your kids exactly what they need, regardless of the challenges that you're facing right now or the challenges that are on the horizon. Our role at the Modern Fatherhood Club is to give you what you need, and that's the support, that's the space, and that's the encouragement to live up to your potential as a dad. Before we start, I set up the Modern Fatherhood Club to change the way we think about our role and the influence that we have. Not just that, I want to give something back to those that can't access paid content or paid courses. That's why we exist. It is to reach future dads. Dads going through something challenging. Dads just trying to find their feet. Experienced dads looking to up their game. And those just looking to reflect on the role that they play and how they show up for their kids. I believe our objective is the same, to give our kids exactly what they need. What that means to you and I, well, that's going to be very different. And that's okay. I'm not here to sell you some bullshit that adds no value to you. I'm here to offer you support, challenge you if you feel like you need a challenge, and listen when there's something that doesn't feel quite right. In the UK, I feel like dad is on the agenda, but we're competing for the same space, offering different support services and fighting over crumbs. If our council or government-backed scheme is prepared to step up and offer monies to build short to mid-term projects that offer support, then fantastic. But surely we can do more. What we build has to be scalable. It has to generate interest, focus on the right topics, and champion the impact you and I are having. And it's got to give something back by generating an income stream that creates opportunities to give back without needing to fight for the little funding that's available. Maybe there's a change coming, but the Modern Fatherhood Club is designed to be self-sufficient. You can access paid resources, free resources, all by joining our community. If you buy a course or one of our ebook series, then 10% of those monies are going to be set aside for community projects and creating space for you when you need it most. So that's the mission. You can become part of it by heading to themodernfatherhoodclub.com. You can check out one of our free courses, one of our products in the description, or by taking one of our paid ebooks that are designed to help you zero in on what your family needs during this crucial time. Our ebook on avoiding parental burnout gives you a 30-day reset, guided reflection exercises, and helps you identify the motivation you need to make the changes that are necessary to become the dad they need. And guess what? Those changes could be as simple as putting your phone to one side and dedicating real, uninterrupted time to your kids when you get home from work. Look, I had to make changes. These episodes and the content shared on YouTube and via the podcast are my own reflections on my own fatherhood story, one I hope resonates and one I'm prepared to share with you, because I believe we need to talk more and celebrate the influence and impact we have and can have. I hope you're finding this useful and that you're trying to get something out of the questions that I ask each week. I've said it before, this isn't about you. It's not about fixing you. This is about self-awareness and understanding and giving yourself the permission to look at the world you have created for them. So let's not delay. Let's get started. This week, we're asking, are you raising yourself while you're raising your kids? What do I mean? Well, do you have unfinished business? Is there something that's stopping you from going all in? And how? Is the way that you hold yourself or how you respond showing up in those interactions with your kids? Seriously, have you done the hard work? Are you at peace, comfortable with where you are, or are you restless and struggling to disconnect? I want you to think of it like this. Are you comfortable with that man looking back at you in the mirror? This episode, well, we're going to test it. This is your mirror test. Do you ever find yourself snapping at your kids for something deep down isn't even about them? That moment where you lose patience and then later you sit with it and you realise that wasn't them, that was all me. That was my stuff showing up in them. And it hurts because you start asking, am I raising them or reliving my own childhood? Here's where I landed recently. I don't lose patience with my kids because of them. I lose patience because I see the parts of me that I still haven't figured out. You know, that rawness of emotion that we're expecting them to understand and have all figured out, when deep down we know we're still trying to work it out. You know, that moment when all hell breaks loose because you've gone in hot. Not just because you spotted something or heard something you didn't like, but because you've not paused to think before responding. Or maybe it's that reaction to a challenge they face. You start encouraging, but they give in too easily and you get frustrated. Look, man, do you ever look in the mirror and feel truly comfortable with what you see? Do you fight a restlessness? If so, does that restlessness impact the interaction between you and them? And if you're restless, are you going to choose to do something about it? Or will you let it fester, seep into the world you're building for them, and ultimately shape who they become? So the question I asked was this: are you raising yourself while raising your kids? Let's pause there. If you're prepared to answer the question in the comments, please do. If you're prepared to answer the question on email or by DM, please reach out. I want to understand your story because I believe that understanding your story will help me shape what services we provide in the future as part of the Modern Fatherhood Club. Your answers, like mine, define who we are as dads and define the dad that we're becoming. But ultimately, they're going to shape who our children become. And that's why these episodes are so important. That's why this insight into the world and inner thinking that you have about yourself is so critical to your success in your role. So, is there work to be done? Are you conscious enough to understand your weaknesses and how they play out at home? Are you quick to lose your cool or quiet, reserved and cold when you're thinking things through? What are they seeing? More importantly, how does what they see make them feel? But more to the point, how is it making you feel? You see, when we're quietly working on ourselves, it shows up in who we are and how we interact. It shows, but do they understand it? If you're thinking about work or that next problem you need to solve, who and what do they see? I got away with it when the boys were younger. If I was deep in thought, they still had me. I was there, but I wasn't present. But at 18 months old, they won't think about it or think it had something to do with them. They'll push for your attention, but it won't lock in. You'll be able to easily distract them and then move on to the next thing. But at 5 and at 8, my problems, my stress, anger, frustration or distance, that becomes their problem. Not directly, but they'll believe to their core that it has something to do with them. And that's why you have to interrupt the cycle. Understand the weight you carry, work on it, and try to separate it from today and the moments that matter to you and to them. I was the quiet one, the reserved one, the one who didn't take risks or speak up or put himself out there. I never truly found what made me tick, and I never had the confidence to zero in on something that made me tick, that's something I was passionate about, not until it became necessary. You see, I had it wrong. I failed to prepare for the mental shift, the seismic shift in the world around me. I failed to understand the importance of the man I'd become and how that man would ultimately feed the dad I needed to be. Those choices you make before baby arrives, they can have a massive impact on the man and the dad you become, and the man and the dad that they see. The way you handle stress, how you feel about yourself, and the value you place on the role you play, all impact the way you show up. And when faced with the challenges of a new baby, you learn on the fly, adapt as you go. And if you're like me, you end up chasing your tail, losing sight of what's important, and that is when the cracks begin to show. To be clear, not every man who becomes a dad is going to face what I faced. But what they will face is that relentlessness and that restlessness. Am I enough? Can I do more? What more can I bring to the table when I'm already exhausted? If you reflect, are there decisions you made in your younger days that are coming back to bite you? What did you chase? What did you overlook? What weaknesses did you lean into? What strengths did you fail to make the most of? Fatherhood lays bare the man you are, the decisions you made, and it poses an important question. Am I capable of giving them what they need? Now, the answer to that question is simple, yes. But are you prepared to break down what they need and focus on maximizing the time you have to meet those needs? Or will you be lost to distraction, distance, frustration, and uncertainty? What's been is done. What's on the horizon is within your control. So the question, are you raising yourself while raising your kids, becomes more relevant when you're not clear on who you are, what you stand for, your strengths, your weaknesses, values, and beliefs. Because that is what holds us back. If you're sure-footed, leading with intention, and have a firm grasp of who you are and what you need to do to meet those needs, then you're able to focus on raising your kids and less so on trying to fix what's already happened, or worse, fix the man you became. With my boys, what frightens me more than anything is that they become the boy who became the man I once was. Because I allowed myself to fall. I failed to make the right call when I needed to make it. And I allowed the shame to shadow my early fatherhood story. I've got 2 boys. One's all fire and energy, ready for anything. The other, more sensitive, feels things deeply. I'm afraid, glass half empty. And when something doesn't go his way, he spirals. A bad day, a mistake, losing a game. It rocks him. And I can feel myself tightening. My jaw, my chest. I see it happening. and I feel the frustration building. But I feel that shame he feels. That's where it hurts. I know when he lashes out, he's hurting, he's hiding, he's looking to feel loved. But sometimes I see it and I still lose my cool. And before I know it, I've snapped. That's when the guilt hits. I should have handled that better. I should have been warmer. I should have read the situation. Then I get angry. And later, I ask why. Why that moment? Why is it so hard for me to just meet him there in that moment? That's the big area for improvement. I got back on track when the boys were young. But now with older boys, I'm striving to better myself and I'm trying to fix as we go. I'm trying to recognize when to move on, the behavior, and when to back off. I'm trying to establish and maintain the boundaries. The challenge is this. I see myself in the reaction. I see the head in hands, quick to anger response. That I'm not good enough to get this done response. I see that kid who didn't believe he was good enough, who didn't know how to bounce back, who let failure write his early story before it was finished. And that reflection, it stings, because it's like when you have kids, they inherit the best and the worst of you. They hold up that mirror every single day. It's like parenting is designed to test the parts of you that still need healing. That's when it hurts the most. We're all crafted by the environment we find ourselves in as kids and the one we allow to dictate our path today. Every decision, mistake, success, love story, failure, and unique moment create the blueprint for who they see. So when you hold up that mirror, that man staring back at you must weather the storm, must rise against the tide, and must understand the world and events that shaped him. Because it's those events that determine who shows up in those moments when they need you to inspire, encourage, and just let them be. So are you happy with the man in the mirror? Or do you still have some work to do? And if you do, that's okay. If it's the latter, I'm here to tell you that that's okay. But choosing not to do anything about it, that's on you. As a dad, I push my boys. I want them to feel strong, to bounce back, to chase joy and face their fear. As Henry's got older, I let him make the decision. Are you willing to take on the challenge? Are you, Henry, willing to face that fear? Then in those moments when he's made that choice, I engage in the why and what he felt. But still, I make mistakes when they falter, especially with H, and I snap. Not because I'm mad at them, because I see myself and I'm mad that I didn't figure it out sooner. It's like your kids inherit the unfinished business of who you were. They reflect the brilliance and the burden. And in those moments when he's not giving it his all or not trying something, it hits me. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at the version of me I see in him. The boy who was too hard on himself, who let setbacks define him, who confused failure with identity. And seeing it in my Henry, it's like holding up a mirror to my past. And it brings all the old stories flooding back. The one where I didn't take enough risks, where I didn't know how to bounce back, where I sat on the sidelines, afraid to get involved. And now as a dad, I'm not just raising him, I'm facing a little me. And it's brutal. It's a brutal reminder that we're meant for more. As dads, we're meant to face up to the past, reflect on it, and then give ourselves permission to move forward and be free of those mistakes. Because if we choose to be limited by the mistakes of the past, how do we inspire them to be better, to live better, to rise to their potential and face up to their future fears? Look back at society. Generations are lost because of the mistakes of a few, but the response to the mistake at an individual level and a family level, that's what shapes who children become. What do I mean? Well, in 2018, I lost a job I hated, a job I didn't want, a job I took for the wrong reasons. Instead of facing up to the challenge and making a change, I allowed myself to become stuck. What happened is history, but I lost that job and I put my family at risk. Who was at fault? My employer? No. Circumstance? No. Me and me alone. That decision to take that job, well, that was down to me and no one else. But for 2 years, I allowed my anger to spill out into the home. I distracted myself with work as I tried to chase recognition and prove that I could still add value. I was externally motivated when I needed to be clear on my intention and my direction. My family needed me to think clearly, but all I felt was shame. Fast forward to 2020 and I had a choice. One that would have had a very different outcome for Henry, Maxie and Terry. That's my legacy-defining decision. Yes, I'm still working on me and I've got to work hard at it. But I'm clear on what my boys need to see and how I need to make them feel. They must never search for external validation. They must be allowed to fail without judgment. They must be encouraged to face their fear, because facing their fears and overcoming setbacks, well, that's what builds resilience. But above all else, I'm clear on how I need to show up so that they understand how to face that storm. You see, our role is to instill the confidence, strength and resilience necessary to face up to adversity. We are leaders of young minds. Our love is one thing, but our will to help them define who they become will create a legacy that stands the test of time. Here's what you need to understand. That 8-year-old me, he'd feel safe in this house. He'd feel loved, seen. He wouldn't wonder if his dad was proud. He'd know it. And that tells me something important. I'm not here to raise perfect kids. I'm here to raise free ones. And maybe in doing that, I'll set myself free too. Here's the moment that changed the way I thought about it. One night, he snuggled up next to me, totally unaware of the storm going on inside my head. And I look at him, this beautiful, brave, fragile little soul. And I think, I want to be raised by me. And I swear in that moment, the answer was yes. Not because I'm perfect, because I'm not, but because I show up and I tell him. I love him every day. I explain things. I apologize when I mess up and I admit when I'm wrong. I push, but not out of pressure, out of belief. I want him to believe in himself earlier than I ever did. I want him to understand that he and only he can choose his path. My role is simply to encourage and give him the tools to create the path that best suits him. And yeah, I lose patience, but it's only ever because I care so much, because I want better for him, and I want him to recognize that everything starts and ends with him. Parenting isn't about fixing your kids. It's about healing yourself so you don't pass the weight down the line. It's about learning from your mistakes, taking responsibility for your action, and giving yourself permission to heal. This journey, it's not just about raising resilient kids. It's about becoming the man they need me to be. It's about healing those parts of me that I buried for too long. It's about reflecting on those decisions that have influenced who shows up today and making sure they don't stop me showing up tomorrow. And now, instead of reacting to the mirror, I'm learning to breathe with it, to use it, to sit with that discomfort and say, this is where the cycle ends, right here, with me. They'll be comfortable in their skin, aware of their strengths, recognize their weaknesses, and make the decisions that count. Fatherhood isn't about making excuses. It's about taking a long, hard look in the mirror and asking yourself if that man, looking back at you, is capable of leading his children into a brighter future. If the answer is yes, then I applaud your confidence and I back every decision you intend to make. If the answer is no, then now is the time to dig a little deeper. Challenge the way you think and give yourself the credit for the man you are and create a vision for the man you believe they need you to become. Our resources, this episode and series, well, they're all designed to get you thinking. They're all designed to help you reflect on the leader and father you are. I needed to tackle some demons in order to grow. Had I not faced up to my mistakes, those decisions that had left me confused, conflicted and distant, I don't think I'd be here talking to you today. More importantly, I don't think my partner and my kids would be here with me. That's the challenge we face. If we're not prepared to look at ourselves in the mirror and heal, are they really going to stick around? Would you? You shape who they become. Your restlessness is caused by something, that knot in your chest when you head out to work, or that uneasiness you feel as you leave for home. They're the signs of something you need to face. A decision you regret, an opportunity you turned down, a moment you missed because you were too busy. My boys are my everything. They're my motivation behind every decision I've made up to this point and every decision that I'll make in the future. My role is to be sure-footed, clear-headed, present, ready to listen and ready to learn from those mistakes I make. Your role is so much wider, and you must embrace the challenge and recognize that you too shape lives. And those decisions that you regret, well, they cannot stop you showing up when they need you now. And they cannot impact the way you make them feel. So here's my question for you. What parts of yourself are your kids reflecting back to you? And are you going to keep punishing them for it? Or are you going to face it, feel it, and break the pattern? Because fatherhood isn't just about raising them. It's about raising you too. You cannot hide from your own reflection, but you can choose what you do when you see it. Next time your little one bites back and they're old enough to have found their voice, check your immediate response. What's building inside? What's impacting you in that moment? How do you feel when someone you love meets fire with fire? So the challenge I have for you is this. Will you repeat the failures and let them play out in the way you show up for your kids? Or will you face up to your challenges, adapt, reflect on the lessons, and learn from the process? Remember, your output reflects your input. If you're willing to put in the work and make a correction and find the clarity needed, then they'll see the real you, the one they need in that moment and the one that will give them what they need. If you feel like you're facing a mirror every time your kid struggles, just know this. You're not broken. You're being invited to grow and you're not alone in it. If you're on this journey and you feel like you're carrying the weight of generational stuff, trying to build your future while being present for your kids, you're not alone. This is the work. This is real growth. And if you want to go deeper, stay close because we're building something powerful for dads like you and I. If this hit you, this is the Modern Fatherhood Club. This is what I stand for and what fatherhood is about. My vision is simple. Test the boundaries of fatherhood today and set a new precedent for how we show up and how we shape their future. This series, as I said, is designed to push you, to test you, to push you outside your comfort zone and ask you some tough, horrible questions. Because I believe we need to evolve, adapt to our environment and show up when they need us. Not just when they need us most, but all the time. I believe we've got to take responsibility now for our future, for their future, and for the success, happiness and peace of future generations. Our role is to create opportunity and show them how it's done. And we can't do that if we're not prepared to lead with intention and grow with a role. Every opportunity to spend time together is time to invest in your legacy. Every moment lost is one you'll never get back and one you'll never repeat. You don't need more time. You just need more clarity, more conviction, and a reminder that your presence is the point and your past no longer controls your future. What you need more than anything is to choose to set the standard and then raise your game, not by throwing yourself into work, but by throwing yourself into life at home, into the moments with your kids and your partner. Your standard is going to set the tone, is going to create the vision for their future, one that you and they can nurture over time. You see, this isn't about making sweeping changes. This is about taking a step forward today, another tomorrow, and doing it every single day so that you become closer to them. If you start today, imagine where they will be in the future. Imagine the path they're going to follow and how much they and you are going to grow. As always, write it down. Dive into the detail. Create something so powerful and unique that you cannot wake up and not move toward it. Your change, any change, must be necessary, and it's got to leave a mark. They'll follow in your footsteps. They'll learn your behaviours, adopt your values, and treat people in the same way you treat them. Your role is simple. Give it everything you have. Give them what they need. Lead from the front and help them discover their strength, passion, power, resilience. And in doing so, discover the rawness of your own story and the story that shaped you. As I've said before, leaders understand their limitations. They recognize when they don't have all the answers. And let's face it, we don't have all the answers. But this series is here to help you work through the hard stuff and give you insight into what you might be missing. This journey is not easy, but you're not walking it alone. If you're doing the work too, let's talk. Join the Modern Fatherhood Club. Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And let's keep each other honest. We have loads of products. We have loads of courses. We have loads of ebooks, all available at the Modern Fatherhood Club. The New Dad Recharge is there to help you reset, to take the lessons from these episodes and put them into a plan that gives you an opportunity to grow, disconnect from the outside world, understand the influence that you have, the impact that you want to have, and meet their needs. This has been Answer Me This, part of the Friday Fuel and Fatherhood in Focus podcast. I'm Aidan, the founder of the Modern Fatherhood Club. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you soon.